It's been 56 years since the NFL draft has been in Philadelphia, and what an event it was. They put on a really good show last night. Philly was popping. We were rocking. We came out and supported our team. It was great to see. All the fans came out. It was just an all around great draft. I think the biggest it's been ever in the 81-year history. But the 2017 first round is finally in the books, and we have some winners and we have some losers. I just wanted to make a quick video and give you some thoughts on who I thought were the winners and losers. For my winners, though, I got to give credit to the Browns. I mean, obviously, with the consensus first overall pick, we all knew it was going to be Myles Garrett. You can't really pass up on a cornerstone defensive end like that. Those guys don't really grow on trees or come around all too often. So we all knew it was going to be him. I know they said speculation was going to be Trubisky. I don't think you can invest a number one pick in him like that. So in Trubisky, I mean, but so they got him. They had 3 selections. They traded with the Texans. I mean, it was a wild night last night. I don't think I've ever seen so many trades in the first round. I mean, it was going off left and right, but they traded with the Texans. They had the 12th. They traded down to 25. They took Jabril Pepper, so I think he's a nice versatile piece to that defense. You just keep building and building, and then they traded up and got David Njoku. Sorry for butchering that name, but add a little piece on offense, too. They don't have their quarterback of the future, but why not keep building? I mean, they have so many holes. They just got to keep trading down and trading down until they build up a team, because it's going to be a long time. But I think they were winners. The Bucks, I can't believe O.J. Howard fell to them. That's insane. I mean, a lot of great players fell. It's, such a deep draft, but adding a tight end like that to that offense with Mike Evans down there, give Jameis Winston another weapon, so I thought that was a great add. The Texans, they're a playoff team. They got one of the best defenses. You got a nice run game. I think it's a perfect situation for Deshaun Watson. I think this is going to bite Cleveland, though. They passed up on Carson Wentz last year. You had the chance to draft Watson, who could be a franchise quarterback, given some time, but I think this is a better situation for Deshaun. He's not really going to be thrown in the mix. It's probably going to be Tom Savage for a little bit, but it's not going to be long before he takes over. I mean, he's got the skill set. He's a smart, energetic kid, athletic. Who cares if he doesn't have elite arm strength? He's a winner. You saw what he did on tape. I mean, he needs to learn how to run offenses a little better, more NFL sets, but I think it won't be long before we start seeing him become the starter. Now, the losers, man. The biggest losers of all has got to be the Chicago Bears. What are you doing? You traded all that draft capital to move up one spot when we all knew the Niners probably weren't going to take Trubisky. They just held him out like bait, and you took it. Like, what is the GM pace thinking, John Fox? I just don't understand. It's not like you're a team like the Chiefs or the Texans that can give up a little bit of draft capital. You have so many holes still. You're a terrible organization. So they sent their 3rd overall pick, a 2017 third, 2017 fourth, and a future 2018 third round pick. That's a lot of draft capital to move up one spot. So I don't understand what they were going on there, and all for a guy that's unproven. 13 starts in his career in college. I mean, he's got the intangibles, but I don't understand that. I think they were the biggest duds of the night. I really didn't like what the Titans did. I think they were reaching a little bit with Davis at receiver. I think Mike Williams is the better prospect. I know you want to get Marcus Mariota some weapons, but he's coming off an injury. I know he's a better route runner, but I'm more of a fan of Mike Williams. I think he's an instant starter. They say he doesn't have elite speed, but we don't sit out there and clock these guys. It's not real NFL time, so it doesn't really matter what you're going to be running in the 40. So who really cares about that? I mean, he's a big body guy. I think he's going to have the better career, but, time will tell. I didn't like what the Bengals did either. Thought that was a huge reach for John Ross. A lot of injuries. He's a speedy guy, and I know they want to get another weapon to add with A.J. Green, but that was a really big reach. I mean, Jonathan Allen was sitting there. There's a lot of other holes you could have filled by getting a wide receiver, though, especially John Ross. I was just scratching my head about that one. I mean, the kid can fly, but I don't think he's going to hold up. He's not a very big body guy. He's had a lot of surgeries, some on his legs, some on his shoulders. So that I thought was a huge reach. And I really didn't like what the Ravens did either. I know Ozzie likes to, tap into his alma mater and take Bama guys, but I think there was better options there. You could have taken O.J. Howard or even a Jonathan Allen there if you wanted to take some Bama guys. I think Humphreys is a big reach, Marlon Humphreys. I don't think he's a very good corner. I mean, he's got ideal size for a corner, but I think he's just the product of Bama being so good. I think that was a huge reach. I was, kind of worried the Eagles were going to take him, but I'm glad they didn't do that. And I know they had links with John Ross too, but I'll get into the Eagles in a minute. But those are my losers. The Titans also took Adoree Jackson with their second pick, with their 18th pick, their original pick. The fifth was obviously from the trade from last year for Jared Goff from the Rams. I think you could have capitalized a little bit more, but like I said, time will tell. You needed to get Mariota a weapon, so I think Mike Williams would have been the better option, but no bigger losers than Chicago. Now, for the Eagles, the hometown team hosting the draft. I don't know. I'm getting mixed reviews. People didn't really like Derek. Didn't really like Barnett at all. I know a lot of people wanted to take Reuben Foster. I kind of like Reuben Foster too. A little worried about those shoulders, though. And seeing him fall this far kind of makes you think, is he really have a clean bill of health? I don't know. I mean, he's explosive. He's definitely a top 5 talent. Sideline to sideline, he's a tackling machine. He's got all the intangibles, but I don't think he had a clean bill of health. Plus, he had that baggage, off the field issues, and I don't think the Eagles really wanted to deal with it. So they took Derek Barnett, the end, out of Tennessee. He broke Reggie White's records, which is nothing to turn your nose up about. It's pretty good. You got 33 sacks in 3 years. That's, kudos to that kid. But, I mean, we'll see what happens. I know you wanted it. There was corners a huge need for the Eagles, but I think it would have been a reach to take any of those corners at that position. So, I mean, I kind of like, you need to get D ends. You got to always have pressure. The Vinny Carey, you paid him a lot of money. Is this why they drafted Barnett? Because now Howie's thinking it's a mistake. I mean, who knows? You always want to have multiple pass rushers. He needs work setting the edge. He's really not too good in the run game. I think if he beefs up a little bit, he won't have no problem with that. He's got a twitch, though, a little first quick step, and he can bull rush. He's got a multitude of moves to get to the quarterback, and he's got a high motor. That's what I really like about him. He reminds me of John Randall. I love high motor guys. You can't really teach heart, and he's a good leader. So this is going to make your cornerbacks better if they can get to the quarterback and put pressure, and you're going to need to in this division. So I like the pick. I personally was liking Delvin Cook at that spot, or Malik Hooker, but Eagles had another agenda to go get a defensive end. Now we'll see what they do in the second and third round. So that was it. That's just want to see what you guys thought of the draft. Did you like what the Eagles did? The division did pretty good. Dallas added a piece to their defensive line. They still have a lot of work to do in their secondary. I think Washington got a stud in Jonathan Allen. He really fell because of medical, but if he's clear, he was probably second, third best prospect in the whole draft, so I really think they added a nice piece to their defense. And then I think the Giants, out of everybody, had the best first round so far out of our division, because Evan Ingram is a complete beast, and you add him to Sterling Shepard and Odell Beckham, this is going to be a really high potent offense. They add a back to that. I mean, Paul Perkins is good, but they add another element to a running back, and this might extend Eli's career a little bit longer. They still have to get a left tackle. They still need some help across the offensive line, but Evan Ingram's a complete stud. He's not really a tight end. I think he's got to add more weight to it. He's more like a Jimmy Graham type. He's not really a good blocker. He can stretch out to the Y, to the U. He can do a lot of that stuff. Great hands. Ran really fast. I think he ran a 4.445. So blazing speed. So they're going to be a team to watch to be shut down. So Eagles are going to have to go out and get a corner to shut another offensive stud down for these Giants. Now, what do you guys think they're going to do in the second and third round? I really want to get Dalvin Cook, because I think this kid is second best running back in this class. Joe Mixon, if he's there too, this is what really makes or breaks, I think, an organization. This part of the draft. The first round, you kind of know what you're going to do. You got your people on the board, but like third to fourth to fifth round, you really got to hit on these picks. And if you can sustain your organization and build through the draft, which you want to do. This is what New England does. This is what Seattle does. They've traded back. They work the draft. They get their key guys. It's all about coaching and scouting here. So this is why Seattle's been good for as long as they have. And look at the Patriots. There's a reason they've won 5 Super Bowls in the past decade. So it will be interesting to see. Just want to get your guys' thoughts. What you thought about the Eagles? What do you think they're going to do second, third? I know a lot of people want to take running back, which I think is another need. Get Carson some weapons. Could we see a trade too? Is Kelsey and Kendricks going to be gone tonight? I'm hearing whispers that even Matthews might get traded. So it would be interesting to see. Do we add another wide receiver, even though we signed these 2 guys in the offseason? So, yeah, it was a fun draft. KC had a big splash too, so little Andy Reid. That was awesome, jumping up 17 spots, getting their quarterback of the future, but they're a playoff team. But this is Kyle Gaffner with the Bitter Birds. Excited for the second and third rounds tonight. Let's see what happens. All right, guys. Have a good one.